Hey, so the Fed met this week and had their big meeting. So what did they discuss and how did the markets respond? Let's take a look. Hey, so welcome to this week's Mortgage Minutes with Mitch. I'm Mitch Jenkins, Senior Loan Officer with Your Home Financial. So the biggest headline this week was the Federal Open Market Committee met for a second of their 8 meetings that they'll have in 2024. And they didn't do anything. They didn't raise rates, they didn't cut rates, and that was actually what was expected. So the good news, though, came after the conference when Jerome Powell went out and did his press release and took a tone that was interesting to many. So a lot of times he's been very hawkish, saying we've got a lot of work to do and a lot of progress needs to be made. Well, this time he kind of said, hey, you know what, even though we're probably not going to see inflation at 2%, we've made a lot of meaningful progress and things are moving in the right direction. So instead of hawkish, some would call that a bit dovish, and the markets responded favorably. He also indicated that they still expect multiple rate cuts before the end of 2024. So a lot of people were getting a little bit worried with some of the inflation numbers that came out recently exceeding expectations that the Fed might not lower rates. So he kind of reassured the markets that, hey, plan is still intact, so we're just going to let it kind of work its course. So all in all, a positive takeaway from the Fed's meeting. The next one will be in May, followed by June. And most likely experts think that they won't do much in May, but by June, we might start to see the first of multiple rate cuts for 2024. Now again, as I said, mortgage rates responded favorably to the news. And you can see by the chart here, we recovered a lot of the ground that we lost last week from the inflation figures. So heading in the right direction, it is still a great time to get out and find a home. Now, you may have seen some of the big headlines. There was a huge lawsuit settled by the National Association of Realtors. Now, there's a lot of dust that needs to settle here, so I promise you there'll be more information to come. But ultimately, we're working behind the scenes to really make sure everyone is taken care of. This should be good for sellers. You can kind of keep a little bit more in your pocket at the end of a sale, but we want to make sure it doesn't hurt buyers, especially first-time buyers, because if they have to pay commissions to real estate agents, it's hard enough to come up with the down payment and all the closing costs, so we don't want to add to that. So we're going to be looking at some different options and ways to make sure that it's advantageous for everybody. So again, more to come. Stay tuned. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.